What's up, everybody? Taking a little bit of time to make some hopeful thumbnails for this video, and then I'm going to throw the shades on because yes, it is bright and sunny outside. Energy levels, well, I guess energy levels aren't bad. Like, I'm not like overly tired for any reason, like I'm not eating enough or sleeping enough. I'm just mentally taxed. I got a lot going on right now, and I feel like I say that every day and then nothing ever changes. It all stays that way. You might be saying, what's going on? Well, I have currently about 40 to 45 clients. I give them a lot of my time and love. Got a lot of awesome friends. Give them some time and love. I actually just cut down this week about 8 sponsors, so that's a lot of content that needs to be made. I got you guys on YouTube. I got Instagram. I got TikTok. I got Facebook. I got all the things. All the things except for time. I got one to save many, of course. Today I have rigged up my air conditioning. It is on, so hopefully it blows onto the phone and keeps that a little bit cooler, which then allows me to not have to handhold the last 5 minutes of this video. So yeah, this is good. I was honestly thinking I'm not gonna make a video today. I'm pretty tired, but now that I'm talking, maybe I'm just so full of myself, I enjoy hearing myself. I'm feeling okay. Heading to the gym as typical per these car talks. We're gonna be hitting a little bit of back today, maybe throwing some arms. It's gonna be a good day. It's already been a good day. It's been a long freaking day. But anyways, today's topic, you probably already know if you can read a thumbnail. I don't know. I don't make the thumbnails, so I'm kind of bullshitting here. But I had somebody ask me, you know, what's the difference between meal plans? I don't know what a meal plan is, but meal plans, macros, and calories. Mr. Bodybuilding Vegan, what is the difference between these? What should I do? How do I set my life up for it? So I'm gonna make this fun and a little bit longer. If you want the fast answer, just go to google.com and say, how do I do a meal plan? How do I count my calories? Blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm gonna do it my way. So when I was like 9 years old, I remember, I must have seen this at school or something, that there's different amounts of calories that you burn per hour during doing certain exercises. And like bicycling, it said, was like 200 calories an hour or something like that. And I remember grabbing some apple juice out of the fridge, pouring myself a glass, not weighing it, not measuring it, but just assuming I knew how much 8 ounces was. And 8 ounces was, I believe, 120 calories, which makes sense. It should be about 30 carbs, which would mean there's about 120 calories if carbs are the only source, which for juice it should be. And I thought, okay, well, if I go pedal my bike for about an hour, I'll balance this out. I wasn't exactly wrong. I had kind of the right idea. And I was at like 9 years old. Now, granted, at like 6 years old, I started my own savings account in a bank. And then at like 8 years old, I saw a commercial for a better interest rate with an online bank. And I convinced my mom to move all my $150 online. So I've always been a little bit weird and interested in like the details and the nitty gritty. And why am I telling this? That's how my journey started. I didn't have the internet. I didn't have access to coaching. I might not have what you have now. And so for me, it was like a tiptoe into this world. Whereas for you, you might have just learned about bodybuilding or tracking your food last week, and you're like, I'm diving right in. So everybody's on their own journey. And that's just kind of the space I'm trying to make here. Then I started my bodybuilding journey, and I remember I had my cousin, Brad, shout out to you in case you're ever watching this. He was pretty much my inspiration for early on in the gym. He wrote my first training plan at home, and then also my first ever meal plan. And I remember this had to have been like 15 years ago. So there were some vegan chicken patties, There was some vegan chocolate milk, like soy milk for post-workout. That's about all I remember off the top of my head from that one. But I ran that for a while. I was also training twice a day, 6 days a week. I'd ride, didn't even have a car. I would ride my bike to the gym. It would take 15, 20 minutes to get there. I'd train for an hour and a half, ride my bike home, play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic on Xbox while shoving food down my throat for like 6 hours, and then go back to the gym. That was all I did for the entire summer. Like, as soon as school was out, I was like, 6 days a week I'm in the gym. Mom's like, hey, you want to go to the beach? Only if it's on Sunday. And that's how I was. That's me. That's kind of is me. I'm just a little bit, y'all know, I'm a little out there. So, all right, we're going rogue. I'm going to try and get to the gym without GPS, and I'm going to go a different way than last time, because last time it was pretty backed up and busy. So, man, I must love y'all. I am diverting my normal traffic patterns to try and make good quality content for you. I hope this is good quality content. Anyways, I then got up to about 185 pounds. I started my journey at like 130. So got up to like 185. And I could not gain weight. Didn't matter how much I ate. I could eat everything in the world, and I didn't gain weight. And you're probably sitting here thinking like, dang, John, or Mr. Bodybuilding Vegan, you know, I went through the same thing. I ate so much food and I didn't gain weight. Well, there was a trainer at my gym, and he said, maybe your fats aren't high enough, but also just maybe your calories aren't high enough. And I was like, dude, I am the bodybuilding vegan in training. I'm not quite there yet, but I know everything. And I know I eat a lot of food. Like, my stomach hurts. That's how much food I eat. I eat a lot of food. Now, you notice how I said a lot. I didn't say macros or calories. I just said a lot. What's a lot? Is 500 a lot? Is 5,000 a lot? Is 50,000 a lot? Kind of depends on what we're talking about, right? Well, this trainer basically told me if I didn't eat enough calories, I wasn't going to grow. And to prove him wrong, I started tracking every single day, nailing down about 5,000 calories. Oh yeah, your boy was eating. I used to work at Publix and make like $8 an hour. Then on break, I'd spend like $20 on food. And I was like, what am I doing, man? I'm just eating literally all the money I make. But I did it. 5,000 calories a day. And remember, it didn't matter how much I ate, I couldn't gain weight. Fast forward like 2 months, I'm over 200 pounds and kind of fat. So it turns out, guess what? If you track and you eat more, you can gain weight. And I've now worked with about 300 people. Not everybody wants to gain weight on their fitness journey, but every single one of them that's been willing to eat what I tell them to eat has been able to gain weight. I think humans, typically, there are some people that fall like Goldilocks right in that middle bed, like perfect, and they can just eat whatever the hell they want and they can get lean, or they can eat whatever the hell they want and get big, because whatever the hell they want is perfectly in line with what they need. Now you see, you take me, I want a lot of food now. Before I didn't, but now I do. I want a lot of food. Do I need a lot of food? No, I'm somewhere over here. But I want this. I would get fat if I ate what I wanted every day. I'd get so fat. I'm like sitting here just imagining all the fun food I'd eat. I'd get so fat. Then there's other people where maybe they need this, but they want this. They want not that much food. Like when I was younger, I wanted less food than I needed. And so I wasn't able to gain weight. And so a lot of people think, oh, I have a high metabolism, I have a slow metabolism, I have a whatever. No, dude, you just don't want what you need. Most fat people want food more than they need it. And most ultra skinny people want food a whole lot less than they need it. So it's really kind of simple. But again, until you go through it, you might not really notice it. So little old me, pre-bodybuilding vegan, I mean, I was vegan and I was bodybuilding, I was just small. But I didn't know how much food I had to eat to grow, because I didn't track it. I felt like I ate a lot. And so that kind of gets us into the gist of this. You know, we're like 10 and a half minutes. You're like, when the fuck are you going to talk about calories and macros and all that stuff? Well, all right, we'll talk about it. So, calories, macros, meal plans, what's best for you? Kind of depends on your level. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to be the world's best bodybuilder, or are you just trying to lose a couple pounds of fat, build a couple pounds of muscle? We'll start on the softer side. If you're just trying to lose a little bit of weight, and you don't really care about building a ton of muscle, for one, thank you for following me. I'm a little surprised. But for two, that's fine. Everybody's got their own goals. I'm not here to judge. I don't necessarily think bodybuilding is the best thing in the world. It's just my thing. So, that's the skating rink that I went the other day. And guess what? I bought some skates. I bought skates today. I actually bought skates earlier this week, but they don't fit. So I bought more. Anyways, so if you're just trying to lose some weight, all you got to do there at the end of the day is take in less calories than you're burning. So you can start tracking your calories. You should start counting them, looking on nutrition labels. But what are you going to need for this besides a good pair of eyes? It might help to have an app like MyFitnessPal. That's what I use. They offer a free version. I know Chronometer is another good one. And that way you can have an idea of what you're taking in calorie-wise. You are going to be better off if you get a food scale. If you want to go on my link tree and look on my Amazon list, there's a food scale in there that I've used. I've used that one for like 10 years. I got like 4 of them now. These things, I can't kill it. I drop it on the floor, I bang it around, I slap it when I don't like the number I see on it. Well, they don't die. They don't quit. Sometimes they need new batteries, but that's it. Get a food scale. It's going to speed up your time in the kitchen. Trying to weigh stuff out is so much faster than getting a measuring cup, filling the cup up, taking out, putting some back in. Is that 40? Well, I say 40. Is that half a cup? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Well, on the scale, it's either going to be 40 grams or it's not. It's not going to be, well, maybe I'll add a little bit more on top. And then you don't have to clean it when you're done. Like, you put the plate on the scale and put the food on the plate. Whereas if you put the food in the measuring cup and then in the plate, now you got to wash the measuring cup. And who's got time for dishes? Not me. So, calories. That's the most basic part. But what about you want to gain some muscle? Well, then we got kind of the in-between step. Maybe not full counting macros, maybe not only counting calories. Maybe we track protein and calories. Let me take a step back here. If you know your macros, then you know your calories, because your calories are comprised of your macronutrients. We have protein that has 4 calories per gram. We have carbohydrates, also 4 calories per gram. We have fat at 9 calories per gram. And then y'all shouldn't be drinking anyways, but I believe alcohol is 7 calories per gram. If you're gonna program alcohol into your diet, view it the same way you would carbs. Basically what I'm saying is, if you're gonna put alcohol into a meal plan, take out some carbs. Anyways, before we go fully into, this guy wants to get in front of me, I'm gonna say sure, go on. Just don't hit me, okay. If you want to, it's a close call. If you want to track calories, and that's easy, but you don't want to fully track macros, but you are concerned about muscle gain, track your protein. I would say at a bare minimum, get your body weight in protein in grams per day, and then set your calories wherever you need to lose weight or build muscle. That's like about the most basic way you can set up your diet and still get decent gains. I think I could probably do about 80%, 85% of what I do right now if all I had was a protein goal and a calorie goal. And that'd be pretty easy. It'd be pretty easy. Now, I don't want 85%. I'm not a B student. I want an A+. That's how I am. But not everybody's like that. Some people are like, hey, I got B's. I passed the class. Great. I got in health or in bodybuilding or in fitness, like I got by with a B, and I'm happy. So if that's you, go for it. More power for you. Like, fuck. Sometimes I wish, oh, man, people are driving crazy today. Sometimes I wish I wasn't so like achievement oriented. Like, it would be easier just to skate by on B's. There's a time in high school where I did not care about getting into college. I just did not study or anything. I got B's and C's, and that was good enough for me. Not so for bodybuilding. Anyways, the next level of added difficulty on this achievement curve would be counting your full macros. How do you set this up? You could hire a good coach. Just throwing it out there. You don't want to work with me, I can refer you to somebody else. But macros is good because it allows you flexibility. Maybe not quite as much as calories, but it's also a little bit more intentional. Because if you were only tracking calories and you were a weird person, maybe you just love rice and protein shakes. You hit your calories and you hit your protein, but you didn't get any fats. Well, fats play a vital role in hormones and everything else. So typically with a well-balanced diet, you're gonna hit that anyways. But maybe you're an interesting person and you don't like fats for some reason, so you wouldn't have programmed them in unless they were told to you in your macros. So when I build out somebody's macro plan, it depends upon the individual, athlete, vegan, gender, whatnot, steroid use or not. But the most general rule that I can say if I'm building out somebody's macros is I'll start with their body weight and put their protein around their body weight all the way up to like 1.5 times their body weight for the majority of people. Then I'll look at their fats and I'll give them fats based on body weight again, somewhere in the vicinity of 0.5 gram of fat per pound of body weight. In the vicinity, maybe 0.4. So if it's a 200-pound male, yeah, maybe not quite that high. Maybe around 0.3 to 0.4 grams of fat per pound. So if it's a 200-pound guy, he might get 60 to 80 grams of fat a day. Something like that. A 100-pound woman might get 30 to 40. So then we have carbohydrates left over, and that's what I use to fill up the rest of the plan. If they're cutting, the carbs might be low. If they're bulking, the carbs might be high, but the protein and the fat, they just kind of hang out there. So it's just getting really long. Hopefully it's good value. You get a look at me. Made my drive to the gym get pretty nice. So thank you all for tuning in. We ain't done yet though. The next one is meal plans. So macros are great. I ran macros for fucking ever. Like literally over 10 years. No meal plan, just macros. Now to make my life easy, sometimes I'd eat the same thing 2 days in a row, because once I calculated it, I didn't have to calculate it again. But I was still kind of all over the place. And this is okay for the 99% of people out there. You're just trying to make a little bit of gains in the gym, trying to enjoy life. That's all good. But what if you're like, hey, I'm really serious about my bodybuilding journey. Bodybuilding's super important to me. I really want to take this to the next level. That's when a meal plan comes into play. And that's honestly where I've gravitated to as a coach. So macros are great. They allow flexibility, similar to calorie counting, tons of flexibility there. Because, you could have just eaten protein shakes and donuts. You'll hit your proteins, carbs, and fats, right? But is that going to give you the optimal human performance, like top peak performance? If it did, I'd be eating donuts every day. Good Lord. Back to wanting to be fat. And now I'm just thinking about food. Okay. But a meal plan will be customized to that individual. Whether you build it yourself or your coach makes it for you, a meal plan is really going to hammer down on specific foods. It's not just, hey, I want you to have 50 carbs with your first meal of the day, because what does that mean? Is that 50 carbs of Gatorade, 50 carbs of juice, 50 carbs of fruit, 50 carbs of rice, 50 carbs of potatoes, of oatmeal? Like, what is it? Well, see, everybody's a little bit different. So for me, if that was like a pre-training meal and I had 50 grams of carbs, I'd probably, like, in order, I'd want it to be rice would be first, like white rice or cream of rice. It's going to digest really well for me. My stomach's going to feel good while I'm in the gym. But if I had 50 grams of oats, or maybe like 50 grams of, I don't know, maybe like some veggie, like peas, 50 grams of peas, oof, my stomach's gonna be all not fully digested, not feeling good for the gym. And so that meal's not gonna really like serve me as best it could, even though the carbohydrates are the same, right? So when I build out a meal plan for a client, I have that in mind. And then also I need their feedback. Not everybody's built the same. Some people digest sweet potatoes wonderfully and they want them. They love them. They just want to eat them. This guy. Other people, they don't. And it's like, there's no rhyme or reason. I can't look at you or ask you what your favorite color is and figure out, okay, yeah, sweet potatoes don't work for you. No, we got to try it. And so that's where I feel like the value of having a coach comes into play, because it's my job to help you troubleshoot those foods, but also Mr. Person out there that hates fats and doesn't want to eat them, well, you're going to have some almond butter with that sweet potato. And you're like, oh, well, dang, I never would have done that. I would have just had more sweet potato. I love sweet potato. But now we're starting to have a more of a balanced meal plan that's gonna really work better for you and offer better performance. Same thing with proteins. I'm a big advocate for pea protein isolate. It digests better for people on a whole than whey protein. I would say, like, out of everybody that comes to work with me, not everyone's vegan, but I would say 4 out of every 5 people that I say, hey, will you just give this a try, that usually use whey protein. They try the pea protein when they start with me, and they say, wow, I'm not getting like bubbly guts and feeling like crap after eating it. I didn't think I was lactose intolerant, but peas digest better for me. Now, 1 out of 5, they're like, nope, I like the whey more. Okay, cool. Works for you. Do what works for you. But when somebody puts it in a meal plan, then you try it. On my own journey, I never used TVP until about 2020 when I started working with my first prep coach. And he said, you're going to do TVP. And I said, okay, you told me what to do. I'm going to go do it. Man, I like TVP. It's easy. Throw it in the microwave. It's cheap. It's a complete protein source. Really ain't got any reason to be away from it, to be honest with you. And so for almost 4 years now, I've had TVP in my meal plans that I make for myself. But had I not had that coach, I never would have even like stumbled upon it. I'd be too in my own zone. So getting a coach is huge. And then setting up your meal plan like that is also huge. Now, you might be saying like, well, I love the flexibility of counting calories. I could even get away with the flexibility of macros because those are pretty flexible too. This meal plan sounds great because it's going to give me the best performance and I really care, but I know myself. I know I can go really good 5-6 days a week. I can be perfect. But you know, Friday night is pizza with the girls' night or pizza with the boys' night. And I just love to have a couple slices of pizza. Just on Fridays. And then I say, are you trying to step on stage in the next 16 weeks? And you say, no, Mr. Bodybuilding Vegan, I might want to compete next year or even later this year, but not in the next 16 weeks. Then I say, go get your damn pizza. It's not going to do a dang thing. So what you could do with your meal plan, and this is how I have my clients typically set it up. I say, you get a free meal a week. I don't go be that asshole like myself and go have a pizza eating challenge where you go eat 20 slices of pizza. That's a little bit too much. I am on a brick road. It is really shaky. But yeah, like go have a few slices of pizza. Maybe even have yourself a drink if you're going to drink. I don't drink. I don't advocate for you to drink. But if you're going to be on a meal plan, and let's say you have 6 meals a day, there's 7 days in a week. That's 42 meals in a week that you're shoving down your mouth. If one of those is off, we ain't going to have a problem. Not at all. So, unless you're contest prep, then your ass is locked in. Sucks to be you. You chose this. Embrace the suck. Oh, hey. It's my good friend Sam. I will go say hi to him in just a moment. But, yeah. I'm going to have to pull over because I got a U-turn to get back into my space here. We're pulling up in my 40. Go get our lift on. Hopefully this has been useful. But yeah, so with the meal plan, it can allow by having that free meal, still to have some flexibility. You know, you don't have to be like locked in 100% of the time. Still some flexibility. And what you can do, and this is what I honestly do, is I pretty much like follow my meal plan 6 to 8 days in a row. And then one day I'll just go back to macros. Be like, I want some pancakes today. They ain't in my meal plan, but I can still match the macros back. I got 500 carbs today. That's how I'm going to use a couple hundred of them. And so it still has that flexibility. So I kind of, as a coach, I like to give people the meal plan and say, you can back it down from here. The meal plan can just be inspiration and you do the macros. If you're really not caring too much about muscle and you're just trying to lose some fat and get into the gym and be a little bit more fit, track the calories. Maybe track the calories with the protein. There's options. There's options. Just like there's options up on the screen here to watch another video. And options down below to like, comment, subscribe, send this to your grandma, to your kids, to Alex's goats. Get this video out there. I appreciate you. And I hope this has been helpful. And with that, as always, have the best day ever.